Good morning. Okay, an 8:34. Happy Monday to you. All right, we talked about earlier the potential in Australia to come in like the Gestapo and tax you if you're not using all your bedrooms inside of your house. Wondering if that could possibly happen locally ever. Is that even a possibility? Is the housing crisis and housing shortage so bad in North Carolina that we should be concerned about it? Jay White, Centralina Realty, joins us this morning. What do you think? You think all of a sudden everybody gets taxed on their bedroom?
I want to head the task force that investigates that. I want to be the guy knocking on your door. Hey, how many folks you got over in that bedroom?
Yeah.
I saw 3 heads in the window last night.
I don't know. You start knocking on people's doors in Statesville and asking that question. People get a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Point.
The blackmail potential is huge. Yeah, I mean, the potential upside financially for the task force would be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of government officials paying themselves.
That's right. Jay White of Centralina Realty, centralinarealty.com. No matter your housing need, Jay and his team can take care of you, whether you're looking to buy your first home or maybe you're, owned a bunch of homes and maybe you're coming down and you're going to be empty nesters soon. All these people going off to college and maybe you're looking for a transition or maybe you're looking to invest. A wider range. Do you cover all those different areas for people?
We do. I mean, the cool thing about real estate is one license buys you a lot of businesses, So we do a little bit of commercial, mostly residential. We do work with investors, and we do property management for them. So if you want to get into rental properties and as an investment, we can help you at any level. We got investors that do all their own maintenance and stuff like that. We just sort of manage the tenants, and then we've got investors that we do everything. They just get money in their account every month. So.
Two main things that people ask us about all the time when we're talking about real estate. You as a professional, you're going to be able to guess just as well as we will at one, and you'll probably know the other one better than we will. Interest rates going up or down? What's your best guess?
Yes.
What do you think? Going down? All right.
Yes.
All right. We'll take
one way or the other. Yeah.
Housing prices. What's the trend been? Are they going up, going down at all right now? What's that been like for you?
Well, I think that's wholly dependent on the first question. Like if interest rates do tick down and buyers come back in the market, then housing prices will go up. But that increased demand will put pressure on and what's already a low inventory market. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. That what I consider there's a housing crisis in North Carolina, and we don't talk about it. Nobody's talking about the housing crisis. NCAR, North Carolina Association of Realtors, tells us that there's about 700,000. We're about 700,000 houses short for demand here in North Carolina.
And that's as of now, not even including if people continue to move here.
Well, yeah, I mean,
people aren't going to stop.
We're the number one ingress state, right? Mm-hmm. So people are coming here. They're leaving New York, New Jersey, California, coming here. And if we don't address
because they're dirty over there too.
They're dirty. They're dirty. I can name some dirty cities, and you don't have to go far.
Yeah.
So for the housing crisis, because it can be, right? Because housing insecurity is a huge thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's huge. And so for prices to go up if interest rates go down, do you still get a lot of calls from buyers that are waiting for interest rates, that they're either renting or haven't decided to make the next move yet? Do you deal with those kind of buyers?
Well, yeah, and it's buyers and sellers are waiting for the same reason. The sellers thinking, well, if we wait and the price goes up, we can get more later. So the sellers are holding back, and which increases the problem. So, I got a large argument for this that I'm trying to whittle it down. The root cause, right? If you look at root causes of this thing, and it does boil down to housing supply, and it gets real. And municipalities have pushed back on development for so long that we've gotten behind the curve on providing enough. I'm going to use the term affordable housing, but it's really workforce housing, right? Not subsidized housing, just market priced workforce housing. We don't have enough of it, and that the root of that is in density. Right? These municipalities have not wanted dense development, and so they've pushed back on it. But it gets real, right? Like in Statesville right now, there's a hotel that people have been living in, and the hotel's being torn down to make way for a new shopping center. 60 families are being displaced out of that hotel. Now, in a real estate market as thriving as ours is, and in towns that are as prosperous as our towns are, we're having a hard time absorbing those 60 families. They should not have a problem finding housing. 60 families, that's nothing. And they can't find a home. So when we talk about the housing crisis, those 700,000 homes that were short, it sounds so big that it doesn't seem real. And then it gets real. Then it hits your hometown. And I live 2 blocks from this, where this is going on. So, I mean, this is a very real thing. And it's embarrassing to me that we can't absorb 60 families into our housing market.
One of the aspects too of because it's not magic, right? At the end of the day, like I think we've seen like the kicking the can down the road, right? It's kind of we're at that point where
there's
a
nowhere
lot
else.
of things,
The road's going to run out.
The road's running out. But water and sewer infrastructure seems like a very important topic too. Water quality seems like a very important topic. If we're going to build and do all these things, I mean, there's got to be some immense pressure on these town managers of analyzing that now. At least I would hope there would be, because it's not going to be an overnight fix of allocation and these types of things like that. Do you hear of anything? Like, because you deal with a lot of septic and well as well.
We do, yeah. A lot of well and septic.
And there can be, an advantage that you're not tapped into the system, right, when you're doing that. But then you've got the regulation side of what's allowed of, how many bedrooms you can have and the acres and all that other kind of stuff. How does that run into your world with your folks?
How it hits our world, and Statesville's a good example. We're not the only community, but if you look at Statesville, and if you look, especially the east side of Statesville, where the city has reached out and annexed beyond the city limits for these developments, so that they can provide sewer. Well, there's a limit to how much of that you can do. And if you have well and septic in a development, then the lots have to be bigger necessarily. So your septic, you have to build for that house plus a repair area equal to that. So you really need, 3/4 to 1.5 acres per house if there's a septic system. Well, then the price goes up and it becomes unaffordable. And so that's where we get to with trying to develop outside of having municipal capacity. If we developed inside the municipalities where we have access to sewer, we can build denser, we can build less expensive housing, and be able to, those 60 families wouldn't be having such a hard time finding a place to live if we did that. And unfortunately, it's a market solution that municipalities have created. So the government creates a problem that needs to be solved by the market, and we're not letting it. We're not letting the market solve it. We're trying to subsidize a solution to it, and that won't work. It never works.
I remember when COVID first happened, right? And I just remember back to the days of just the boom, because I was still a real estate practicing attorney at that time, and I just saw as the numbers were ticking up for settlements and how quick the deals were moving, and the price action that was happening was substantial. The volume started coming down on the number of deals, but the price action got higher and higher and higher. The percentage change of literally from day to day, you could buy a house one week and some people doubled their money the next week. Literally, that happened for some. But it became about compromising for a lot of buyers, right? They were compromising on the amount of due diligence, let's say the amount of money you're going to give to a seller to let you investigate the property, your earnest money deposit, how much an escrow agent was holding in an account, proving that you were really going to go through with the deal. All of those things started shifting, and then the compromises of the property. Are buyers still compromising all, or are sellers who's compromising?
Well, we've moved closer to a balanced market now. So sellers still have to be competitive more than they have in the last 3 or 4 years, where a seller, you hit the market in any condition and you sell it, right? Well, that's gone. So we're having to coax our sellers into being a little more competitive, that they have to offer up a little more and get their house in a little better shape. It's not the easy sale that it was for the selling side. Buyers are in a better position now than they've been in the last several years. And at the same time, the financial angle is harder for buyers. So the interest rates are up, the pricing's up. And so a lot of, we had buyers, and I guess it was 2023, when the interest rate started ticking up on the heels of the price going up, they just left the market. They got outpriced. Like they were shopping one week, and the next week they said, "Well, I'm done. I can't shop anymore." And so they'll be coming back.
I don't like the doom and gloom part of the conversation of real estate
I'm sorry.
too. Like because I do it. I fall into it too, because it does seem like it's a tough road for a lot of folks, and in particular, let's say the first time home buyer right now. Have you had any moments of seeing, okay, there is a chance for first time home buyers out here? Or are there communities?
There's great programs. We work with several lenders that have great first time home buyer programs right now. We just $15,000 first time home buyer assistance. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, and for cash at the table for closing. That's substantial.
We've had first time home buyers walk away with a check at the closing table.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't promote that a lot, but
it can happen.
Free money.
Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, so get paid to buy a house.
It's not bad at all.
And then how about those? Land is one of those other conversations, right? Because it is God's not making any more right now, right here, at least here. And so as the price continues to go up per acre, what's that market been like? Because farmland is a huge conversation around, right? Turning these rural farmland into high density, medium, low density housing. What's that conversation?
If you listen to the keyboard warriors, you'd think that we're out of farmland in Northern Iredell, right? There's a lot of land in North Iredell. So, but they are holding on to it. People are holding on to their land. It's hard to buy it, and it's hard to shop it. It's hard to comp land. It's a harder sales process on land than a house, because every piece of land is very unique. You can find a lot of 3-bedroom houses to sort of compare to, but this lot is this lot. And there's nothing like it, so it gets a little hard to price it, and the price of land's going up So people are holding on to it.
Jay White, Centralina Realty. No matter where you're at in your real estate journey, Jay and his team can help you out. CentralinaRealty.com. If you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, or maybe you inherited some land too. There's a lot of people inheriting land right now as well. And so no matter your need, no matter your desire in real estate, give Jay a call. CentralinaRealty.com. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for having me.